Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Live to Inspire. I'm going to go through my book I've written, Live to Inspire, and I wrote in 2024. We're just going to go through the overview. So it starts off with, obviously, the copyright page, like all books do. And then it gives my dedication to my friends and family. Next up, it includes some of a big, powerful quote, I believe, and then some resources for anyone struggling with mental health or suicidal ideation. The next up, we have the table of contents. So as you can see here, it goes through all of the table of contents, all the months, my acknowledgement, my author's note. So then it goes into my author's note for the book. Then it kind of goes into the first half of the book, which details my memoir and kind of my journey I've been through. And the second half deals with the days of the year. I chose one quote for each. And then I explain my reasoning behind choosing the quote, as well as my analysis behind the quote. Finally, we end with my acknowledgments, my appreciations, as well as a little bit about me. So the first thing I'll do is I'm going to read the author's note from me to the audience and the readers. That way you have a little bit of a better understanding as we go through the year and I go over each individual day. So, without further ado, this book has two parts to it. The first is a story of my battles with mental health, and the second is the list of quotes, phrases, sayings, and analogies that I have compiled without 2024, as I've discussed. Some are from celebrities or historical figures, so you might not recognize them, or so you might actually recognize them. Others I have synthesized from various media sources, such as books or movies. There are quite a few that I myself personally wrote, but I always give credit for the quotes I could find an author for. If a quote doesn't have or isn't taken word for word, verbatim, I use the author name. If it was said by a character in a book or movie, I try to include the title as well. If I took some liberties, but the meaning of the quote is similar to another quote, I say inspired by, followed by the author of the similar quote. If I say, like, if I don't include credit for them, that is one that I could not find an author for or that myself wrote. This book is not meant to be straight through like traditional books. There are 365 quotes in this book, formatted so that you can read one page every single day. This way you can fit the few minutes of reading in whenever you need to. Each quote has a specific reason for being chosen. Every aphorism was related to what was going on at that time. Sometimes it was just related to the weather, sometimes my mood, sometimes just daily events, but every one embodied some of the things I was thinking at the time. So you kind of get to go through my journey of 2024. You might notice that a few of these phrases have similar meanings, which might seem repetitive. Yet I believe that this enhances the message that you have to work to become a better person day after day. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to work persistently every single day. Only by taking it slowly and working for a long period of time will you be able to integrate these essential habits into your lifestyle. Now and again, we just need a little bit of a reminder. And that's kind of why I set it up, so that you can read one page a day, stick to that habit, and you don't have to do it all at once. You take it a little step, and then eventually it becomes a daily habit. If you have extra time during your day, you can read about my story. The first part of this book highlights the battles I faced on my journey to conquer my mental health. I showcase both the highs and the lows of what happened. It has been a roller coaster of a ride, and I try to detail it as much as possible. The quotes give purpose and suggestions to follow for your life, while my story gives those quotes a real-life example as proof. My story provides hope and inspiration for those who are struggling right now. By illustrating the signs I presented as I battle depression and anxiety, it sheds light on some of the common signs many show when they're struggling with depression. It brings into focus the signs you need to look out in your friends and family. There are many reasons you might have picked up this book Whether you're an athlete seeking to increase your mental toughness, or a student looking for new ways to view studying, or an individual looking for success in your personal life, you can find answers here. No matter your reason for reading this book, if you take these sayings to heart and make them part of your mantra, you can forge a life of happiness, righteousness, kindness, and gratitude. After each quote, I provide my rationale for why I chose that saying, along with my analysis of the aphorism. There are many holidays I include in this book, but if they don't land on the right day, or if you don't celebrate them, that's totally okay with me. The celebrations are not required for you to take the main message and incorporate it into your day. The year 2024 was a very traumatic and challenging year for me. There were many ups and downs. It was a roller coaster of a ride, and I gained a lifetime of knowledge and experience that some may never get to know. I was verbally and emotionally abused by a friend, diagnosed with OCD, anxiety, and depression. I suffered from an injury that ended my senior sports season, experienced a relapse in my childhood epilepsy, got my driver's license revoked, and lost my dream career. I had to drop out of my schooling and nearly died while riding my bike. However, I gained incredible insight into both myself and other issues that many people face. I am acknowledging that everyone handles events differently and no trauma is greater than another. No fight is easier than any other struggle. I'm hoping to share my stories and experiences with you, the reader. I hope you can take my stories and learn from them as much as I have. It was very difficult to write this book. Speaking and writing down the events that happened was a monumental challenge. At times, it was hard to put into words the thoughts and emotions that I was feeling both in the moment and now. Opening up to the public is a hard thing for anyone to do, regardless of how brave you are. I'm doing this not for myself, but to inspire everyone else who's struggling with mental health to do the same. I want you to open up to the world so that other people may offer the help you need. Everyone has a strength within themselves, just as I did, and still do. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who is struggling with their mental health. If you're struggling, I urge you to get help before it is too late. You will not be a burden, and you do not deserve to carry that weight alone. If you know someone who is struggling, reach out and check up on them. Convince them to seek help and walk with them along their journey. I know the journey is long, but I am confident that you can do it. I started looking up these inspirational quotes for friends every day, but quickly realized that was more for me than for them. They got me through my toughest times and gave me a flicker of hope in my darkest hours. I hope they can do the same for you. I made the mistake of waiting too long to get the help I needed. Don't make the same mistake. I highly encourage you guys to get my book that I just wrote. You can follow along. It's available on Amazon. That way, as we go through the year and I explain my quotes, you're fully able to read it yourself, maybe read ahead if you wish. And then you can follow along and follow my journey through 2024.